I'm James Griffiths, and I'm director.
I'm Carrie Mulligan. I play Nell Mortimer.
I'm Tim Key. I play Charles Heath.
I'm Tom Basden. I play Herb Maguire. And we wrote it as well, us two.
All right, let's start with the writing part. What a charming idea. What a crazy idea. The idea being, say it. I'm off camera. I'm not saying anything.
So the idea of the film is there's an eccentric lottery winner, played by Tim, who spends a huge amount of money to assemble his favourite ever musicians who used to be in a band together, to bring them back for one big gig on his island where he lives. Old tensions resurface, and relationships get kind of tested by this strange man who's making his dreams reality. And
this is a crazy good idea. Where did it come from? Because nobody ever talks about like the lottery winners. It's like, why aren't there more movies about lottery winners and the crazy things they can do with their lives?
Yeah, I don't really know exactly where it came from, because we were the original short film we made so long ago. It was about 2007. Which was the genesis of this whole thing. And I think at that point we just had a long list of ideas, and we were just kind of like trying to work out ones that we thought were funny and found interesting. And I think maybe you read a lot of stories about musicians kind of being flown out by a billionaire to play a gig somewhere. And I think, we felt like that was a really fertile subject for a comedy. And that kind of, the relationship between the client and the artist just felt like there was a lot you could do there. And I think that probably was the basis for the short.
Tim, you want to add anything since you are the quirky lottery winner?
Yeah, I'd happily add something. I feel like, I think maybe there's a sort of inbuilt thing where that's kind of maybe a bit distasteful, that someone's got too much money and then someone is a mercenary. So I think that was the trick that we had to try and work out, is to kind of make them both be kind of quite sympathetic characters in some way, or just not. You can't just watch something terrible happening for an hour and a half. So that was my theory. So then in the short, it is literally like that, kind of very self-contained little fairy tale with a guy comes out and then they don't get on, and then they kind of begin to get on, and it ends in a very kind of lovely, kind of warm way. And then, the plan was then at some point to make a feature film of that. And weirdly, that took 18 years in a way. But we got there.
18 years?
Well, it was 18 years ago we made the short. But we made it together, and we work a lot together, and we made it with Griff, and it was just a really lovely experience. So there's lots of times where people would say, what would you really like to do? Like in interviews and things. And it's always kind of this, weirdly. And so we've revisited it several times, but even then, with like a 5-year gap between revisiting it, we'd just be in the pub sometime and go, that's what we really want to do.
Yeah.
And then, luckily, it just sort of, a more formed idea, theory of how we could make it suddenly emerged, and then spoke to Griff, and then all three of us were like, yeah, maybe this is possible, and then wrote the script. But then
It was that naivety of being in COVID where we thought, actually, we can just go to an island and film this thing for like £10,000 or something. Just a camera, and obviously then we all got really busy because there was a lot of shooting in COVID. But that was the reason to kind of revisit, I
Makes
guess.
sense.
But I was the same. Whenever I was asked questions about what I was most proud of in your work, I'd always come back to the short, actually, because it felt like the most pure artistic experience.
It felt like we'd sort of missed a trick in a way in having not done it for so long, because I think we just all loved working with each other so much. And we were all so passionate about that short that when we finally, actually galvanise ourselves to do it and write the script and then get it together and then send it to Carey and kind of assemble a team where we're like, this is really exciting.
Well, the thing also that is notable is Tim's character is so particular. So now it makes more sense that you've lived with him for a long time, because to create him in 3 months, I don't know, he's so particular.
Yeah, it is interesting. It is one of those things. I've been to films before. I don't think our one's unique in this way, where they do a Q&A after and say this has been in the pipelines for 10 years, and then they sort of go, well, but maybe we're a better age to play the characters. But I think it's definitely true with our one. I mean, I was probably in my 20s when we did it the first time, and now it does feel like about right. And then with this bit of story that we've added, the story, it makes more sense for him to have a past if we find him when he's like a little older. So you can sort of, this kind of happened. His relationship and his previous life with in this band could have been 15 years ago. So yeah.
That's really great. So, Carrie, when did you get involved? And did this seem just like a really fun, kooky idea?
Yeah, it did. When did I get involved? When did you send it to me? We were in touch about something else, basically. So I was a big fan, and I had asked him to host a charity fundraiser, which he flat out refused to do. But years before,
really
like
sucking up there, I
a
see.
couple
Yeah, all
of
right.
years before, so it had been a while. But he had my email address, and so he emailed me. He said, "I don't want to help the children, but I would like you to be in my film."
Yeah.
Basically.
Let's make a film and help some adults.
Specifically these 4.
Did you? Okay.
So
So he sent it to me, and I was pregnant with my third
Oh my gosh.
child, and I said, and they were going to do
You
it.
weren't thinking straight.
Yeah, all the hormones. And I said, and I loved the script immediately, and I thought it was amazing, and I thought the short was incredible, and I was like, oh, I want to be in it, but I'm going to have like a very small, like a 3-month-old baby. And they were like, yeah, mascot, great. So we did it.
Yeah, we thought the yes was. We didn't really hear. Oh, I didn't hear all that stuff about the baby. Really, I just heard a yes. Just thought we can work around everything else.
When the baby information was conveyed to us, I think we were a bit more worried. Like, surely Carey won't want to shoot a film with like a several-week-old baby. But it worked out really well. I mean, the baby
You had a
was
several-week-old baby?
Yeah, she was like
very young.
11 weeks old or so. She was little. She was tiny. Yeah, but we were filming in Wales. We were filming in the town my mum was born in. We were filmed in near Tenby, which is where I went on holiday when I was a kid. All of our families came. You know, it was like, and it was 18 days the whole film, so it wasn't like a huge. So the baby was just upstairs wherever we were. So I was just
Mostly at Crafty,
was
wasn't she?
fantastic.
She was just
Yeah.
helping herself to the milk at Crafty.
getting the snacks, getting a snack on.
But how did you sort of work on building your backstory, the two of you, because you're the singers and you broke up and...
They had just written such a solid script. I mean, it was just such a tight script, and the music was, Tom had written all the songs, and there was a part for me that he put a harmony in for all of my bits. So it felt like so much of the story and their backstory and their history was baked into the script and then also into the writing of the songs. So it wasn't sort of...
Yeah, it felt pretty organic, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, we did talk about stuff a little bit, and we rehearsed stuff. We obviously rehearsed the songs quite a lot. But I think, Carey's sensibility is just such a great fit for us. And so when we were just, we'd talk about the script, we'd talk about how we want to play it and the relationships between the characters. It all just fitted into place really, really well.
Amazing. Well, congratulations. The film is so charming and fun, and I could watch it again tomorrow. I'd like to watch it with this audience because I bet it's very fun with an audience. Anyway, good luck with it. It's coming out in March, so we can all see it in theaters.